You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, we now learn what happened to 7 people found dead in Oklahoma.
And some elementary students travel to Fort Scott Community College to learn what it's like to be a college student.
And we are dry in the Joplin area for now, but that's not going to last long as we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms rolling into the area. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A car in Newton County leaves the road and overturns in a ravine. Authorities responded to reports of a crash near Gateway north of River Road at around 2:30 Wednesday afternoon. Troopers say the vehicle was traveling north when it left the roadway to the right, hit a driveway, and went airborne. The car then overturned down a steep ravine before coming to rest upside down. Both the driver and the passenger left the car on their own and were transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We now know the victims and causes of death in a case where an Oklahoma sex offender is believed to have killed 6 people. Authorities say Jesse McFadden shot and killed all of the victims and then shot and killed himself. Those victims include 35-year-old Holly Guess and teenagers Riley Allen, Michael Mayo, Tiffany Guess, Ivy Webster, and Brittany Brewer. All were shot in the head. According to family of the victims, the shootings happened as McFadden sent text messages to his young accuser. In those, he blamed the woman for ending his great life, and he said he was determined not to return to prison.
We've got some scattered showers across the region, right around the Nevada area. We've got a few across parts of southeast Kansas, and then we're watching this developing batch of showers and thunderstorms back across northern Oklahoma and now stretching back into parts of southern Kansas. So this is not really moving much. If you've been watching through the KOAM side of this show, it's barely moved at all. It's about moving at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. But this will be eventually what plays a role in our shower and thunderstorm activity as we head into the afternoon hours. So we'll keep an eye on all of this for you, but we will start to see those showers. Now, as we head into the overnight tonight, we do have the possibility of a couple of strong storms. You can see there's a very low tornado risk barely clipping us. Our biggest threat would be some hail, maybe gusty winds, but this is a relatively isolated and limited threat at this particular point. We go into the afternoon, we'll start to see those showers and thunderstorms rolling across the area, and they'll be scattered initially, and then as we head into the evening and overnight hours, showers and thunderstorms will become more widespread, and into the overnight is when, if we were going to see a strong storm or two, that's when it would happen. And then by about 7 or 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, those showers and thunderstorms will be on their way out of here, but there are more rain chances as we head into next week, and we've got a very warm weekend for you. We'll take a look at that full forecast here in a few more minutes.
All right, on Wednesday, Fort Scott Community College gave elementary students a chance to get a taste of college life. The school's Kids College event allows students to be a Greyhound for a day and explore potential pathways for their future. They were able to check out classes including crime scene investigations, history, chemical reactions, and wellness connection.
What our hopes is today for the students to take away from this is that they get some interaction with our college students. We have a great group of students here on campus, and you can tell that they really care about the community. A lot of our students get out and actually serve in the community and do some volunteer work themselves.
The event was free to any interested student. Pitt State announced its newest director of athletic bands and assistant professor of music. Joseph Joby Wilson is a native of the region. He previously served as the director of athletic bands at Bentley University in the Boston area. Officials with the school say Wilson is excited to return to the area after 24 years in Boston. He will replace Professor Doug Witten, who passed away in June of 2022. On Wednesday, some Pitt State social work students showcased their community-based projects. The students' projects varied in goals. They range from raising money for charities, collecting goods for educational organizations, or educating youth about the dangers of opiates.
About just Native literature and what is out there, what's available for the youth, and just the intersectionality of it that I didn't even think of at first, you know, like that there's Afro-Indigenous people that are Indigenous and Jewish, and there's books for all those categories, and I didn't know that.
School officials say the projects are designed to engage students with local organizations and nonprofits to better benefit the community. Special Olympics Kansas hosted its Southeast Kansas track and field event at Erie High School. Outside of the competitions, festivities included face painting, music, and physical therapy sessions. Officials with the program say the event offers local athletes the chance to build relationships and compete in a friendly environment.
We are trying to make the athletes feel like they're amazing, like they can do it, and if some athletes don't want to run, we will try and encourage them to run. Like, we will run with them. We will be there for them.
This is the 10th annual Special Olympics track and field event at Erie High School. Up next, Chef Anthony joins us back in Studio K, and we're making a hanger steak with him.
And later, a blind bear becomes somewhat of a celebrity as she goes viral. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back, but first, here's another live look from Wildcat Glades in Joplin.
Welcome back. Earlier this morning, we made our pineapple salsa,
Yes.
which was, I can't wait to try this, by the way. It smells delicious.
Oh, it's going to be good. You're going to love the way this lays out.
And it is going to be the perfect side to go with a hanger steak, which it's grilling season, so let's talk about that.
So what I have here is my hanger steak. I've cut it down just a little bit so that I can fit it into my pan.
Is that about half of it?
This is about half of it.
Okay.
So if you treat this like a tenderloin, because the muscle structure is relatively the same, the only difference is this one's a little bit, the texture of it is a little bit more like a brisket.
Okay.
So I have my hot pan. I'm gonna add just a little bit of oil.
I noticed you cut off both ends of it to choose the
Yes.
piece. Was there a particular reason for that?
Nope, I just like the way that one looked for your
Presentation?
for your presentation.
Okay.
So I've added a little bit of our smoked onion and jalapeno that I always add. I've added some salt, some pepper, just keeping this flavors on it really simple because we have our pineapple salsa, which is going to add a little bit more flavor for us.
And I saw you put the pepper in there. It has the pickled
Yes.
jalapenos in it. Going to give it that spice.
I'm going to lay this right into our hot skillet.
All right.
And we're going to let this sit for just a minute. People don't realize, but the hanger steak is often misused. It's located right behind the brisket, right in front of the flank. So the texture of it's a little bit of the brisket, a little bit of the flank. You just have to treat it a little bit differently. Treat it like, I treat it like a ribeye.
Really? Okay.
So being able to understand where it comes from and how to approach it makes it much easier to use. So for me, because it is located right below the rib, I just decided you can do it just like a ribeye.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sear both sides of it very nicely, or all sides of it, I should say.
Yeah.
And then we'll take it out, we'll slice it out, and we're gonna give it a quick flash sear, and then we'll lay out presentation later this morning.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but we're gonna keep this simple. On any steak, especially if you're grilling or you're doing it in the cast iron, keep it simple on your seasonings. Don't overdo it. We're not doing a roast that has to sit and cook for a long period of time. We're not braising anything, so we don't have to pack in a whole lot of flavors to cut anything.
Do you season both sides,
Yes.
even if you're going to do it and plop that one right down on the
Yes, I always
seasoning
season
the
down
pan?
the side I want to put down first, and then I season the opposite side. Whether I season it in the pan or on my plate, I still season both sides because you want all those flavors to cook into your steak.
Now, if you're cooking on the grill, is that still recommended, or do you
Yes.
lose those seasonings when they fall through?
If you have seasoned it correctly, sometimes you may, if your seasonings aren't sticking to it, try it in just a little bit of oil
Okay.
to help your seasoning actually stick to the steak itself. But I want to get a nice little sear like this all the way around it. And then I'm going to lay it right up here on our cutting board. And because of the structure, the muscle structure of the meat, you can actually see how the muscle fibers pull away in a
Right.
Y. I'm going to cut pieces to help prepare for when I lay it in for my display. So I have my good sear.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and come to break.
Yes.
And we're going to finish this off when we come back here in a few minutes. KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
All right, we're taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and you can see we've got that batch of thunderstorms out in parts of Oklahoma. It's expanded, it's gotten bigger, but it's not really moving much. That's kind of been the thing with these showers, too, even around the Nevada area and across parts of southeast Kansas. They're not really moving much right now. In fact, doing a track on those storms in Oklahoma, they're moving to the east-northeast at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Now, eventually, all of this activity is going to play a role in our thunderstorm development as we head into the afternoon, because you can look, going back to 5, 6 o'clock this morning, barely moving at all. Even this activity up here, not really doing that much, but that will change. We still have that low wind risk for a strong storm or two. There's a very low tornado risk, barely clipping our area. We could maybe see some small hail and gusty winds, and if we see any stronger storms, this would happen later this evening into the overnight hours. Let's take a look at the future track. We got scattered showers and storms. They're going to start to roll through the area as we head into the afternoon hours, and then they'll become more widespread as we go in the late evening and overnight, and we'll see more of these much needed showers and thunderstorms across the region. Here we are at 3 a.m. We go into 5 a.m. tomorrow, still a fair amount of rain out there, and it'll start to wrap up and exit out of the area by about 8 to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. 30-second in range line, MoDOT camera there. We are looking good so far, but cloudy. Same from the camera at 69 and 400 from KDOT just south of Pittsburgh. And here's why. Look at all this cloud cover out there. We have 52 in Joplin with a calm breeze under mostly cloudy skies. Across the area this morning, we have 52 Pittsburgh, 55 Chinook, 51 Miami, and 55 in Neosho. We'll have those scattered showers as we go through the morning and into the lower 70s by late morning. More showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. Before the thunderstorms, highs mid to upper 70s, and once those start to roll through, you're going to drop back into the mid 60s. We go into tonight, of course, shower and thunderstorm chances increase, and then we see temperatures dropping back only into the upper 50s tonight ahead of what's going to be a very warm weekend. We'll take a look at that weekend forecast here in a few more minutes. Well, a blind black bear is drawing a crowd of visitors to see if they can spot her at a military base in Alaska. Georgina Fernandez reports on how the bear became the star attraction.
Let's go celebrity spotting.
Everybody that knows of her wants to take a look and see her and get good pictures.
The superstar in this neck of the woods, a 250-pound black bear. Meet Betty.
Betty happens to be our blind bear that we have here on base.
Who's been wandering around G-Bear for at least the past 5 years.
She kind of feels her way around, but the big thing is if she's going over something, she will always turn around and come over backwards to where she could put her feet down first. Doesn't matter if it's a Jersey barrier or by a dumpster. So it's very easy for us to identify her just by her movements.
A very popular figure on base.
She likes to just relax where everybody can see her. If she's not hearing a lot of people around her, that's where she'll lay down for the day and just take a nap right out in the open.
With paparazzi always snapping pictures.
She does draw a lot of crowds, though, a lot of people wanting to see her.
Due to her disability, officials say she tends to rest in areas that are quiet. Because of her impaired vision, she tends to end up in places where she has to be relocated.
We have to deal with her totally different than any other bear because she can't see. So we have to get others to help us, primarily to make sure that we get traffic stopped so we don't have her get hit by a car or have a car accident.
But while she has a good reputation, she still needs space and distance.
Don't get too close. It's still not the neighborhood dog that you can go up and get a selfie with. They're still bears. Give them plenty of room, plenty of space.
And although you can spot Betty anywhere.
Well, we've had her in the middle of a playground, sound asleep underneath a slide. We've had her actually sleeping on somebody's front doorstep.
It looks like she's a bit camera shy this morning. But keep an eye out.
So you never know where she's going to take a nap. She doesn't know where she's at.
You never know where she'll make a guest appearance.
We'll be right back after this, but first we're going to take another live look from Wildcat Glades in Joplin.
Welcome back. I'm excited to finish up our hanger steak. This looks delicious. It's been seasoned. You've braised every end of it.
So I went through and I did all my searing, and I'm going to lay these in now because I just want to get a little bit more on the edges. But I also don't want to lose the appearance of my steak.
Why did we switch up pans from our original?
Well, my cast iron skillet carries over too much heat. This one I can just put a little bit, control the heat in here a little bit easier. I can heat it up really quick when we were coming back, so I don't have to worry about anything. But normally I would do this all in my cast iron skillet at home where I'm not
Or if you're on the grill, you know.
Or on your grill. But I'm just getting a little bit more of a good sear on here. And one of the things that you're going to want to do with your steaks before you go and immediately throw them onto the grill is take them out. Take them out before you're ready to cook them.
Okay.
About an hour before you're ready to cook them. Salt them, let them sit. That salt's going to dissolve into, or it's going to pull some of the moisture out and dissolve, and then that moisture is going to seep back into your steak. So you're going to draw seasoning into your steak. A lot of people, they get home, they cut it out, they throw some salt and pepper or whatever they want on there, and they immediately throw it on the grill.
Yeah.
Plan ahead just a little bit, and your steak will be 10 times better. So, oh, there we go. There we go. That's beautiful.
I like my meat medium rare. Yeah, or rare. Probably medium rare for TV. It looks good, nice and juicy. Oh, beautiful. And then earlier this morning we made this pineapple salsa with pickled jalapenos in it and onions and tomatoes, and it looks delicious, smells delicious. If you want to find the recipe for this, all you have to do is check out our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A little bit later this morning, we'll have all of these segments all in one link on the morning show page.
I'm going to take a little bit of our pineapple salsa.
The flavors, nice mixture, and a beautiful display. Oh, yeah.
This board was actually given to me by a fellow teacher who teaches culinary arts. The tree fell in his backyard.
Wow.
So he repurposed a lot of this stuff.
That's cool.
There you go. So just help yourself right there to a little piece, a little bit of that salsa, and let us know what you think.
Okay, I'll take one from the back so it doesn't miss. Okay. Excited to try this? Put a little more salsa on there. That's good. That's
You like
really
that?
good.
Clean, simple. Remember when you're out grilling this summer, you don't have to overcomplicate everything. Keep it nice and clean and simple, and the flavors, your skills, your ideas will come through a lot better.
That's good flavor, really good flavor. Again, you can find this on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. When you come back in a couple weeks, I think we're going to be grilling out on the grill. This is going to be exciting.
I'm excited for that one.
Looking forward to it. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. A federal lawsuit is in court this week after several people sue the Kansas Highway Patrol over a tactic known as the Kansas two-step. The lawsuit claims the tactic is when troopers find a reason to make a traffic stop, and then as the trooper heads back to the patrol car, they take a couple of steps and then return to interact with the driver again. The lawsuit contends the procedure buys time to continue seeking incriminating information and to get a drug-sniffing dog to the location, even if the trooper lacks reasonable suspicion. ACLU of Kansas says troopers use it to target out-of-state motorists coming from places where marijuana is legal. Change to an Oklahoma electioneering law takes effect immediately. Electioneering is when a politician or campaigner actively campaigns near a polling place to get votes. The law now says no person is allowed to electioneer within 300 feet of the entrance to a polling place or in-person absentee voting site during an election. It also restricts electioneering near a person who is standing in line to vote outside the polling place or in-person absentee voting site. The law previously restricted 300 feet within any ballot box. This week is the National Small Business Week, celebrating businesses around the nation, including in Southwest Missouri. Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce officials say they celebrate small businesses every week. Doug Hunt, Director of Entrepreneurship with the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce, says post-pandemic, more individuals became entrepreneurs starting a new business. He says to support the new business owners to get past the critical first years, the chamber created a website called Launched in Southwest Missouri.
It's a portal, a hub, if you will, of resources for everything that has to do with anybody that wants to start a new business. There are great systems in our ecosystem, like with the SBDC, but we wanted to launch something that was a hub that somebody could go to as a central source to find other support systems.
Doug Hunt says National Small Business Week would be a good time to take a day off to analyze the business's systems and processes, as well as targeted demographic. City of Joplin is in desperate need of summer lifeguards in order to open community pools. They need at least 30 lifeguards to partially open Schifferdecker Pool. City only has 2 fully trained lifeguards as of now, and Joplin residents believe the lack of lifeguards is due to the low wages.
Why would they work for less than minimum wage with having to go through trainings to save people's lives and just be on constant alert when they could go flip hamburgers at McDonald's for minimum wage and possibly even more than that?
As seasonal city employees, lifeguards earn $11.58 per hour.
Oh, we've got a few scattered showers out there, and we'll have more of them later. Quick look at temperatures. We have 56 Chinook, 53 Parsons, Pittsburgh, 52 in Joplin, Neosho, and 51 in Miami. So we got our day started. Again, a few isolated showers this morning, and then we're going to warm into the lower 70s by late morning. Highs ahead of the shower and thunderstorm activity, mid to upper 70s. And once you get into that rain, you're going to drop back into the mid 60s. We'll have those scattered showers and thunderstorms, and they'll increase in coverage as we head into the late evening hours and overnight and early tomorrow morning. We don't do a lot of cooling, though. It's not a bad overnight low, back into the upper 50s. And this is what I was talking about. Take a look at Saturday and Sunday, pushing near 90 degrees both days. So Saturday, a great day to get outside and enjoy, but make sure you are dressed comfortably. Then after that, shower and thunderstorm chances, they remain scattered, but they hang on through the majority of next week. Temperatures upper 70s, lower 80s, overnight lows hanging out in the 60s. Tanya?
Well, the Biden administration has reached an agreement with the government of Mexico to address an expected spike in people seeking asylum at the southern border. Pandemic-era Title 42 policy restricting immigration is set to expire a week from today. And as Jared Harold reports, one Texas mayor has already declared a state of emergency.
In the city of El Paso, Texas, migrants on the street go on for blocks and blocks.
We're focusing on women and children mainly. The need is overwhelming.
And that need could become even greater when Title 42, a pandemic-era policy that allows the U.S. government to expel migrants, expires on May 11th. El Paso's mayor has already declared a state of emergency as Customs and Border Patrol officials say as many as 10,000 migrants a day could cross the southern border, nearly doubling the daily average in March.
We are doing everything that we can to put programs, to put processes in place to deal with what will occur at the border.
Part of that, a new agreement where Mexico will accept non-Mexican migrants expelled from the U.S., while the U.S. takes in up to 100,000 individuals from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador who have family here in the States. As the crisis at the border balloons, Wednesday, buses carrying migrants from Texas arrived in New York City, part of a controversial initiative by Republican Governor Greg Abbott to send migrants to cities run by Democrats.
Our infrastructure is completely strained, and we cannot do this alone without the intervention from the federal and state governments.
New York City officials say they've converted more than 120 hotels into emergency shelters to accommodate, but the pace is unsustainable. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
About 1,500 U.S. troops will also be deployed to the border for 90 days, working in a logistics capacity. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. Saddle up for the 4th annual Bulls and Barbecue event. We've got Jason Wells from the Columbus Saddle Club in studio to tell us all about it.
And we've got some scattered showers out there. Those thunderstorms, as we've mentioned, will increase as we head through the afternoon and overnight hours. We'll take another look at that forecast. But first, here's another live look from Wildcat Glades in Joplin. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Joining us in studio today to tell us all about the Columbus Saddle Club's 4th annual Bulls and Barbecue is Jason Wells. Jason, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Good morning.
Here ahead of the rain, so that's certainly helpful. And,
absolutely.
So tell me a little bit, what do you have going on here coming up?
We have our 4th annual Bulls and Barbecue event. This is a really great event that we put on this will be our 4th year doing it. It's a good fundraiser for our saddle club. That's kind of what we do this for. We do a lot of events throughout the year for local youth in our community, and this kind of helps us raise money so we can pay our utility bills and do improvements on our arena and stuff like that. So, but the Bulls and Barbecue event is going to be great. We've got a new stock contractor coming this year, Rough Stock Unlimited. They're out of Harrison, Arkansas. They are going to bring some great bulls. We've got about 30 bull rides probably. Wow. Got a little bit of entertainment as well and a great announcer. There's $1,500 added money to the pot, so that's going to bring in a lot of really good cowboys. Admission to get in is going to be $10 for adults and $7 for ages 5 to 12, and then 4 and under is free. And it will be at 7 o'clock this Saturday night.
All right, and so the good news is this Saturday night looking to be pretty good, at least on the weather side.
Yes, it's going to be warm.
Yeah, relatively warm as we head into Saturday night. So real quickly, just tell me a little bit about the Saddle Club itself. What exactly do you all do?
We do a lot of, throughout the year, youth rodeos. We host our own family rodeo series, which is just kind of a small event, timed event series for families to come do together. The kids can do it, the parents can do it. Involves a few really fun events and some goat tying and breakaway roping and barrel racing, flag race, stuff like that. Our 4-H kids get to come use our arena. They use it once a week for their 4-H horse project practice, and then we also they do their county 4-H horse show there as well in July. Anything that involves our youth and our kids, that's what we are aimed to do.
And just how important is it to be able to offer this to the kids in the community?
It's very important, and it's been a passion of mine for a long time, and I've been involved for a really long time. And my daughter grew up there, and that's one of the things I love to see these kids come and have fun. It kind of gets them outdoors and away from their electronics and learn a lot about a little bit of responsibility and a lot about outdoor fun.
All right, Jason, thank you so much. So again, the 4th annual Bulls and Barbecue taking place this Saturday, May the 6th at 7 o'clock. $10 to get in. And of course, if you missed any of this, we've got all the information on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Jason, thanks again for coming to the show. And
thank you.
We will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, 7:41 on this Thursday morning. So we've had those scattered showers up around the Nevada area. They're starting to break up. We even had a few more across southeast Kansas. Those have kind of fallen apart because all the available energy and moisture getting sucked into this line of storms that has really just gone up, now expanding into parts of southern Kansas. And as we take a look, it has now joined this batch of storms that was out to the west of Oklahoma City this morning. So there's no strong or severe storms with this, but this activity will eventually roll on off our direction and will bring us, or at least be the catalyst for our afternoon showers and thunderstorms. And the update for the strong to severe thunderstorm outlook has removed the tornado threat off of here, and it's scaled back just to the hail threat, and you can see the wind threat now just barely clipping parts of Washington County. So again, a strong storm or two possible, but the overall threat is relatively low at this point. We're just going to get some good old-fashioned thunderstorms across the area. Here's a look at those things rolling through. These will be scattered initially as we head into the early afternoon, and then as we go into the evening and overnight hours, these will become more widespread. We'll see more showers and thunderstorms just kind of across the region. If we saw a strong storm or two, it'd be overnight, but again, as you've seen, latest updates are suggesting that really strong thunderstorm activity looks to be relatively low for this system. These showers and thunderstorms will hang with us through about 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then they'll move on out. Quick look, MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line looks good. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. Got those mostly cloudy skies out there this morning. We're sitting at 52 in Joplin with a calm breeze. And as we look at temperatures across the area really quickly here, we got 53 Pittsburgh, Parsons, Iola, 56 in Chanute, 53 Miami. Miami and 52 in Neosho. We get our morning started again, a few isolated showers out there, warm though into the lower 70s, and ahead of the rain, highs pushing mid to upper 70s, and we'll see those scattered shower and thunderstorm chances pick up this afternoon. That's a check of your forecast. Now here's Tanya Bach with a check of Consumer Watch.
Forgetting your password could soon be a thing of the past, at least for your Google accounts. The tech company has started rolling out support for passkeys, an alternative sign-in method for its apps and websites from Gmail to Drive. Google says passkeys are an easier and more secure alternative to the password, as well as resistant to online attacks like phishing. Company said users can access their various accounts the same way they might unlock their phone, with a fingerprint, face scan, or screen lock pin. Google will continue to support passwords and two-factor authentication as other account access options. Well, this Mother's Day is going to be historic in terms of spending. The National Retail Federation is predicting consumers will spend in record numbers this year. If you're still looking for gift ideas for mom, a bit of planning and creativity can save you money. Jen Sullivan has 5 cost-saving tips.
Happy Mother's Day! Showering mom with love this 2023 will cost you a record-breaking amount of cash this Mother's Day. That's according to the National Retail Federation. It's predicting consumers will spend a record $35.7 billion this year, with the average person spending about $274. That's the highest amount ever recorded in the NRF survey. But experts say you don't have to overdo it.
There are lots of great ways to make mom feel loved and appreciated without breaking the bank.
Jessica Allen from LivingWellSpendingLess.com has these 5 tips to save money this year. 1. Be intentional. Pause before you make an impulsive or last-minute buy. And ask what would really make mom feel special.
Maybe you're celebrating a mom who would feel just as loved, if not more so, with a handwritten note or a framed photo of a special event.
Which brings us to tip number 2. Make a budget and stick to it. 3. Get creative. Instead of going for popular pricey gifts like jewelry, go for alternatives that speak to mom's interests and her love language.
Schedule your own photo shoot or maybe book mom a class or a course or even a private lesson in an area of her interest, like a cooking class.
Number 4. Instead of an outing, get busy cooking. That way you avoid busy restaurants and overpriced Mother's Day brunches or dinners.
Plan a lovely meal at home that you prepare, that you clean up, that you prep and shop for.
And finally, create special moments. They're often free, like a movie marathon at home with mom's favorite movies.
Well, according to the NRF survey, the top spenders are people between the age of 35 and 44. They're expected to spend an average of $382.26 this Mother's Day. That's a lot. We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. When Indiana School District is crediting the heroic actions of students and a bus driver after a school bus caught fire Tuesday afternoon.
A group of elementary school children were on their usual ride home when the flames erupted from the front of the bus without warning.
Wow. Darby Bean reports quick action from the driver and the kids helped everyone get out safely.
Pictures show the school bus with flames and smoke shooting out the front. Madison Consolidated Schools says the bus caught on fire Tuesday afternoon while kids from Deputy Elementary were headed home in a small rural community in Jefferson County, Indiana. The district is crediting heroic efforts from the bus driver and quick action from the students for getting everyone off safely with no injuries.
We practice these things with our students and bus drivers in hopes that something like this never happens.
The district says longtime bus driver Jesse Ritzline is crediting the kids, calling them the heroes for doing what they were taught in case of emergencies.
Miss Jessie, our bus driver, is incredibly humble, and she is so very proud of those kids.
The Deputy Volunteer Fire Department right next to the school and other first responders came to the scene. Other buses helped get kids home, and Madison Consolidated Schools is also thanking families for how this situation was handled.
That's not an easy call to receive, and they were all very calm, very supportive, very patient, and they trusted our processes, and they trusted us to get those kids home safely.
The reason why the bus caught fire is still unknown. The district says the cause is under investigation.
That's impressive.
I'm assuming they all went out the back door.
I would imagine so.
Ooh, man, I didn't realize it was that bad. Well, classes continued Wednesday as scheduled. Again, no one was hurt in the fire, thank goodness.
Great news there. Some other great news. More much needed shower and thunderstorm chances are on the way. We've been watching that batch of showers and thunderstorms out across parts of northeastern Oklahoma, now starting to stretch up into parts of southern Kansas, just outside of Elk and Chautauqua County. It is not really moving much, but it has continued to develop and has joined a batch of showers and thunderstorms that was rolling out of Oklahoma City this morning. And that will eventually be the catalyst for our showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon later today and into our overnight hours. The good news is, latest update on stronger storms, they've removed the tornado threat from this map. The hail risk is still there, but it's been scaled back a bit, and that wind risk just barely clipping the southwestern part of Washington County in Oklahoma. So a strong storm or two still possible, but again, it's looking very unlikely that we're going to see any severe weather with this activity. We head into the afternoon, we start to see more of those widespread showers and thunderstorms rolling across the area, and then they'll really start to pick up as we head into the late evening and overnight hours across the region. And then by the time we head into tomorrow morning, we start to see the activity winding down across the region. But don't worry, I know we need more rain, and there's more on the way. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line looking good but cloudy. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh. Cloudy skies out there. We're at 52 though in Joplin with a calm breeze. Temperatures across the area not bad for this morning because we've been pretty chilly the last several mornings. We're at 53 Iola, 56 in Chinook, 53 Parsons, Chatopa, Miami, 52 Neosho, and 55 in Lamar. We get our morning started. We've seen some scattered, isolated showers across the area, so a few of those still possible, otherwise cloudy. But look at this, lower 70s by late morning. And as we head into the afternoon, ahead of the showers, we're looking at highs mid to upper 70s. But once we get into that rain, we'll start to see temperatures falling back into the mid 60s as we go into the evening hours across the area, and then more much needed rain tonight. We'll take another look at your forecast in this really warm weekend, plus next week's rain chances when we come back.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities respond to reports of a crash near Gateway, north of River Road in Saginaw, Missouri, at around 2:30 Wednesday afternoon. Troopers say the vehicle was traveling north when it left the roadway to the right, hit a driveway, and went airborne. The car then overturned down a steep ravine before coming to rest upside down. Both the driver and the passenger were transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The city of Joplin is in desperate need of summer lifeguards in order to open the community's pools. They need at least 30 lifeguards to partially open Schifferdecker Pool. The city only has 2 fully trained lifeguards as of now. Joplin residents believe the lack of lifeguards is due to low wages. This week is National Small Business Week, celebrating businesses around the nation, including Southwest Missouri. Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce officials say they celebrate small businesses every week to support new business. Owners get past the critical first years. The chamber created a website called Launched in Southwest Missouri.
We'll have our scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. Ahead of the storms, highs pushing mid to upper 70s, and then once we get into that activity, we start to fall through the mid 60s. More showers and storms as we head overnight and into tomorrow morning, and we'll be pretty mild back into the upper 50s for our overnight lows. We'll make it near 80 tomorrow after the storms, and then, yeah, that's not a typo. We're pushing near 90 this weekend. So if you're going outside Saturday to enjoy, dress comfortably, and then after that, scattered shower and thunderstorm chances all week long. Temperatures upper 70s, lower 80s, overnight lows in the 60s. So not bad temperature wise, and some much needed rain. I think it's a win-win across the board.
That's right. Well, pulp or no pulp? That is the question.
Orange juice lovers are answering that question and raising a glass today on National Orange Juice Day.
All right. Orange juice is the most popular breakfast drink in the U.S.
An 8-ounce serving of it has 124 milligrams of vitamin C and supplies potassium, thiamine, and folate.
The United States is second only to Brazil in the production of orange juice.
You could share your love of orange juice on social media with the hashtag, yeah, you guessed it, National Orange Juice Day. And I do prefer it with the pulp. I think it gives it more of an orange juice feel. It's kind of like crunchy peanut butter.
I cannot get my kids to drink pulp orange juice.
What's wrong with them?
They like the Sunny Delight flavor too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Sunny Delight's good. I don't want to knock Sunny D, but regular orange juice with the pulp, pretty darn good.
I like it too.
Yeah,
not bad.
Not bad. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
May the force be with you. Have a great morning and an even better day.